Hello Airsoft friends and welcome to this video today, where today I have finally received my very own Novritsch Plate Carrier. Now when I went over to Austria, I did manage to have a bit of a hands-on look with a load of the plate carriers that they had there, but none of them were my own, so I couldn't really customize them or play about with them too much. But now the turntables have turned. Yeah, and I have my own one with a load of pouches that they've sent to me to start customizing and getting this out in the field. But before we take this out and have a bit of a closer look at it, I just want to say a big thank you to all of my patrons for supporting the channel month on month. You guys rock, and I genuinely couldn't be doing this without each and every one of you, so thank you all very much. Also, I want to say a big thank you to you for watching this video, and if you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, click it now, because there's so much content coming up and you're not going to want to miss it. Now, onto the plate carrier. But before we crack this open, I want to take a trip down memory lane to see how we got here. As you know, if you've watched some of my previous videos, all of my subs, you know who you are, you know that I'm actually quite enjoying rocking this tactical battle belt right now. It is ultra minimal because everybody needs to use a belt anyway, so I've pretty much just got pouches floating around on my waist with room for a pistol, room for like mag loaders, room for like medic bands, things like that, and this has been an absolute dream. Now I have run other rigs in the past before, like the Helicon training mini rig, and that is still absolutely awesome, and when I run my SSG-10, which is that cheeky boy right there, that is still my go-to rig of choice, just because I've got everything up here, and when you're sniping, you're usually in bushes, and sometimes it's quite hard to access your bum. But the reason why I've kind of come to this is because the plate carriers before that I've tried, they just didn't really seem to tick the boxes. Now, for all of my OG viewers out there, you may recognize this bad boy, which I ran religiously for quite a lot of my airsoft life, until I decided that there just must be a better way. Actually, no, it's when I swapped over from running my M4 and using my sniper rifle more, which I was like, yeah, I can't really run a plate carrier with my sniper. And this plate carrier has been modified quite a bit. So you can see up on here, I actually found some packing foam, cut that to size and glued it on to make it nice and comfy on the shoulders. I had to extra tighten the side strap puts on there because I think the sizing for this was probably for more larger gentlemen. And I've also had to make quite a few repairs on it. So this strip here, you can see there's a run of super glue across that, and also on this side here too, because the threads were coming loose. I've also, on this one, if I lift the flap, I've got my secret little knife holster on the inside, although the knife disappeared somewhere, so I'm gonna have to get a new one for that. And I've got my little scrope bag down here as well. And this is fantastic for like storing extra magazines, loaders, BBs, anything you want. Although I must say the first few times I ran it with some grenades in, I was scared for my testicles. Luckily, everything went okay. You can see as well on the top that I did have this 1-point harness on there too, because I like to just like sling my rifle while I was chilling out. But I found that during games, I kind of was just unclipping the rifle all the time. So it was nice to have it when I was just stationary, not doing anything. But then when I came to use my rifle, which is the majority of the airsoft game, it just kind of got in the way. So I actually stopped using this, but I didn't want to take it off the rig just in case I changed my mind, so it's still there. It's also quite floppy, as you can see, because there's no plates inside. So when I got this, it had the dense foam plates, and then I got a drill out and cut tons of big holes in it, so it was more airflowy and kind of like venti, because I sweat a lot when I play airsoft. I am like a big wobbly sweat bomb. It's horrible. And cutting all the holes out of the plates really did help out, but not really much for the structural integrity. In fact, I can show you that on another one that I've got. So this plate carrier here is a Viper VX carrier, and you can kind of see what I mean when I do that. It is super, super bendy. It doesn't really feel like strong or sturdy. I mean, quality of the fabric and everything looks absolutely great. Like, I can't fault that. But there's just something about this being like super, super padded, super thick, and just kind of like bendy that I'm just not a big fan of at all. In fact, this is the plate itself, and it is even softer foam than the foam that was in my original plate carrier. Just what's the point? You know, what is even the point? I mean, it definitely gives it some structure, but this is just gonna be insulating you so much on the battlefield, you're gonna get so damn hot. The one thing I do like about this plate carrier though, is the changeable molle panel here on the front. You got this little clip here, this little clip here, it's velcroed onto the front. And if you wanted to, you could get a load of these and have a load of custom different rigs. So it's nice and quick and easy if you want to swap from running an M4 to a pistol-only loadout to maybe like an AK, or maybe to even like an SMG or something like that. The other thing I like about this is that the back straps are actually underneath this molle panel here, so it's easier to mount extra magazine holders to the back if you wanted to. Sadly though, the shoulder pads still aren't really padded at all, and that's something which I don't know if it's just a me problem or if it's an everyone problem, but I find the straps do dig into my shoulders on most plate carriers. And with that groundwork set, I think we are ready to take a look at the Novritsch Plate Carrier and see where it excels and maybe where it fails against these two. But before I open this beautiful Ziploc goodness, have you subscribed yet? If you haven't clicked the subscribe button yet, click it right now. There's tons of content to come and you're not going to want to miss any of it. As a quick side note, Novritsch also has these hangers available on the website too, which makes hanging your kit very, very easy. Usual coat hangers and whatnot are so flimsy and small and plasticky usually that they break when there's any weight added to them. These things, however, are super chonky boys, so you can hang these up, put your heavy kit on them with all your pouches and magazines on it still and everything like that, and it's not going to go anywhere. And I quite like the fact it's got this kind of like grippy bit here, which you can then use to, I don't really know, hang it another way, pick things up with the hook. I don't really know. Why does this exist? Please tell me in the comments, why is this grip here? So inside this bag, we have got the green Novritsch Plate Carrier. Now, I'm a really big fan of just like standard tactical green. I feel like it goes well in woodland and also kind of does look okay when you're like, you know, running around inside buildings and CQB areas. So it actually comes in pieces. It's not built, it's not constructed yet. I thought it was gonna come like in one piece all clipped together, but no, it's not. It is all in its separate pieces. You get 4 pieces in total. You have got the front side of it, the back side of it, and the 2 shoulder straps as well. And already it is kind of beating out these plate carriers on a number of the areas I talked about. First of all, it is rigid. It is like, it's not bending anyway. It is keeping its shape. That is nice and solid, and I really enjoy that. And also on the shoulder pieces here, they are mad padded. Look at that. There is so much padding on both of these that it's just gonna be so comfortable on my shoulders. I can't stress how much this is important to me. When I'm playing Airsoft, I need to be comfortable. I need to know that when I'm playing, I'm not gonna be like worrying about something digging into my shoulder, because the time I spend worrying about that is time I could spend worrying about if there's an enemy around that corner or how many BBs have I got left in my magazine. So already those 2 factors are well taken care of. Ooh, and from rubbing it and kind of like looking at it, I can see another factor, and that is the airflow. Like, this has been specifically designed for high airflow, and I can see through it so much and see the camera. That is just absolutely insane. Like I said, I'm a sweaty boy, and if you're a sweaty boy too, then that like amount of airflowness, I mean, look, you can kind of like see my face. If I move it like that, you can see my face through it as well. Like, that is so much airflow. I can't get over how rigid that is. Let me take the plate out and have a little look to see what's in there, because at the minute we know what kind of plates we get. They're either that dense foam or they're that floppy soft foam that's encased in like a pillow pillowcase, and that is the reason why it is that hard plastic there. There is got some of that dense foam on the back to move it off of your body, but you can see like having that on you there, that is, look at all that airflow that's coming out. If you put this on your butt and farted, there is no way that that fart is going to get stuck behind this panel. That is, I mean, you could knock a guy out with that. We're not going to try that. Well, not in this video. So that is the reason why. That is awesome. I mean, yeah, now it's like Floppy McGee over here, but if we get that panel back in, that is solid. And even with the panel out, look, you can still look through it and see all of the vent holes that you've got in there. Again, like, one of the main reasons why I don't wear those plate carriers anymore is because I'm such a sweaty Betty, but if I can like be super airflowy in this, maybe plate carriers will be back on the table for me, you know? Now, I remember when I was there, the clips being a really big deal, because the clips on these seemed to be like magic, and I'm looking forward to experiencing that magic again. On my first plate carrier, it was all about big floppy like Velcro, and it was always really loud, and it was kind of like, you know, a bit tiring to do. I'm not that out of shape, but when you've got so much Velcro to pull up and it's all loud and noisy, it's not really a fun time. The Viper VX plate carrier, on the other hand, just had clips at the side, which was nice and quick and easy to use, but because of the design of the clips, you're actually losing out like 2 inches or so of real estate where you could actually have something to mount on there. Like, you could have a pouch closer around to your front side to make it easier to access. But these clips have like magic magnetic powers, and it's really something quite different to see if you've not seen it before. So if you haven't seen it before, you're in for a treat. And if you have seen it before and you're still not subscribed, then subscribe, because thanks. So I'm gonna get this clip here, and I'm gonna get this clip here, and I'm just gonna slowly kind of move them towards each other, and you're gonna see them grab and clip itself into place. Isn't that mad? That is magical. Look, I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again so you can see the magicness of it. Look, look, oh, look at that. Look at it move. And then it's clipped in place. Like, that is so cool. And that's such a big deal, because when you're getting ready, you want it to be nice and easy. And if you've got like the big slidey uppy ones or clippy on ones, trying to get them all in the right place when you've got like a load of stuff on you can be a little bit tricky. But this clips itself into place. So you've got 2 of those. There's one on each shoulder. And then you've also got big boy ones on the side here, just like that. And they do the exact same thing. So now that is clipped into place, and then to take it off, you pull that up and you kind of slide it out of the way, and that's it, you're done now. So let's get these shoulder bits mounted. I'm not too sure exactly which way they go on. I'm thinking like that. That kind of makes sense to me. Yeah, let's do it that way. So that, and then we'll flip it around to here. Also on the shoulder straps, they are Velcro adjustable. So if they're not the right length, you can adjust them really easily with the Velcro there. I'm just gonna assume that out of the box, it is the perfect size for me. And hopefully, everything will be okay. If it's not, then we could always change it later. So you unvelcro that bit, push it onto there just like so, and then flap it on, and that is now that Velcro shoulder pad on and in place. Same for this side. I'm gonna open it up just like that, and then it's the exact same for the other side. There we go. So those shoulder straps are on there just like so. I'm then gonna clip this side in to here, and I'm gonna do this side one here as well, and I'm also gonna do this top shoulder one here as well. Now it's the wear test. So I'm gonna put it on, get my arm in there, and then pull these together, and would you know it, it seems to be almost perfectly sized to me straight out of the bag. That's sick, look at that. Now this does feel like it's got so much support and rigidity into it. Like, I like the fact that it feels like I'm almost wearing some kind of shell or clam or something like that. And the great thing about this being so rigid and hard is when I get pouches on here, they're actually gonna feel like they're supported and against something like solid, as opposed to being on something floppy, especially with my first plate carrier that I had down there. When I'd put magazines in and out of the pouches, the plate carrier would kind of like move and twist and the fabric would move around it. And it wasn't a kind of like consistent experience and was a little bit naff, to be fair. Even with the belt, I kind of have that where I put them in and out and it kind of like pivots on the belt, which isn't ideal, but at the minute it's kind of like the best solution I've got. Or is it? Maybe this will be the better solution now. The only thing I miss on this that I've had on both of those other plate carriers is the fact that there's like a little window kind of pouchy bit in the top here, because you can put sweets in there, you know, a little bit of change, maybe your car keys, something like that. By default, as far as I'm aware, there isn't anywhere to put anything like that. Maybe you could like open your plate carrier up and put them like inside the plate, something like that. But having some kind of like small pocket integrated somewhere on the plate carrier, I would absolutely love it. But it's not something which would stop me from actually like, you know, buying the plate carrier for not having it. Speaking of buying the plate carrier, you can get it from the Novritsch website for 169 euros. Now, I know what you're saying, that is quite expensive. Like my first plate carrier, I managed to get on discount and it probably would have been the equivalent of like 50 to 60 euros. And the Viper VX carrier, I think is usually around 110 euros, something like that. So you are paying more, but from having this like in person and playing with it and feeling it, it is definitely a more premium product. Like there is a huge difference between this and those plate carriers down there. Like if you put them on the table, every single time you would say, this is the most expensive one, and like the Viper one's the next one, and then the other one's the next one. Like you would just easily be able to tell that for sure. So yeah, it is quite expensive, but from what I can see at the minute, I would say that it is worth that money. Like if I was in the market and I was looking for like a legit plate carrier, I would seriously consider this. One of the features I like with this as well, and it's the exact same one that the Viper has, is it's got the clips here for the removable molle panels. Now they're not in stock on the Novritsch website yet, but take a little look at this. This is the one from the Viper VX panel. It fits. And if it fits, it sits. So if you do want to get some removable molle panels ahead of like Novritsch getting them all in stock, depending on what camo you have, you may not be able to get one that matches up perfectly. Like this is the Viper VX green one, and it seems to match up really closely to the Novritsch green, which is really nice. I also bought another one here as well, just to double check to be certain, and it does fit too. And this one has a full Velcro front. So if you wanted to put, you know, magazine pouches on and then some patches, then you can do that. Of course, if you're not really interested in the panels, or you only really have one setup that you want to use, you don't have to use the molle panels. As you can see, the plate carrier's got the laser cut molle all the way through it. So yeah, you can just use those and then job's going to be a good one anyway. Now I am going to be customizing this plate carrier. I've literally got a load of M4 magazine pouches here. I have got pistol pouches here, which I can also put my SMG mags into. And I have also got my SSR 90 magazine pouches here as well. So I'm going to use these molle panels. I'm going to customize them to different loadouts, but that video is going to be coming in the near future. So make sure you subscribe now if you haven't already, so you don't miss out when that video goes live. And until next time, thank you very much for watching. Remember to call your hits, and I'll see you in the next one.